Here we are again, another sunny day in Cornwall, Damerels, in deepest, darkest Fradden. And today I'm going to be reviewing this little rascal. Look at this. This is a monkey bike. Now, how many times have you seen these around and gone, how cool would that be to ride? Well, they've given us one. It just looks brilliant, doesn't it? I'm giggling away there. I don't know why. Like an idiot. Anyway, it's a 125, so it's legal for anyone who's just passed their tests. Has a 9 horsepower engine, a 5.5 litre tank, I think it is, and it does about 180 miles to a gallon, I believe. Is that right? So yeah, 180 miles to a tank. So and if you thrash it, apparently it goes down to about 160. You can't fault that. So I'm doing this video for a friend of ours who's just about to take a CBT and wants to do buy one of these just for commuting. But I'm really looking forward to it. Toby's grinning like an idiot because he wants to go as well. Anyway, we'll switch it on. Look at that dashboard there. It blinks at you. It does all sorts of stuff. Basic controls, and it's just a funny little bike, isn't it? So I'm going to get off and get on for a ride. Obviously, it's very hard to get on. You don't have to stand on the foot pegs. So when you switch it on, the dashboard flashes at you. Very basic dashboard, but old school wing mirrors. Those round things, remember those? So, all cables, nothing fancy about them. Honda engineering, you can tell just by looking at it that Honda put some thought into things like this. And you know, even though this is a small little bike, you know, this is an ideal little bike for people who want to carry them on the back of camper vans and things like that. You know, weight restrictions, you don't have to put it on a trailer, you can put it on one of those big bike racks as long as you strengthen it, I suppose. So it's an ideal little bike. It ticks all the right boxes. You could carry stuff. I'm not sure if you get a pillion on it, but it's a reasonable size seat. The seat is comfortable. It has upside down forks. It's got protection in front of it there. Right angled filling valves for the tyres. How special is that? It's just typical Honda. You know, they put such a lot of effort into things, and when they do it, they don't skimp on stuff, and that's why when you buy a Honda, it seems to last. They seem to last forever. It has ABS. Can you imagine a bike this size has got ABS? I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I've just got a glimpse of myself in the window of the sales room. How bizarre does this look? It's a nice little colour scheme, this, and this is the new engine for Honda. Apparently, they've updated it. However, they've done it. It feels very, very bouncy, even as a fat bloke like me riding it. Just putting it into gear, and there, you know, you notice things. Some bikes clunk in, some bikes feel really sloppy and horrible, but this just feels quite pleasant. Quite pleasant. Obviously there's no height restrictions. My grandson could probably ride this. So we're off. So very basic controls on it. There's a stop start, there's indicators, there is high beam, low beam, and that's about it really. Do you know what? This is pretty awesome. It's one of those bikes you sit on and suddenly you go, yep, I actually like you, chap. There's no gear indicator to work out what gear you're in. So that's not an issue. Got to wring its neck a little bit, bless it. But it gets up to speed. We're getting up to 48, 50 miles an hour quite quickly. That's quite a steep hill for any old bike, and this is a 125. The thing I like about this is it doesn't sound like a 125, you know, a little mosquito. Obviously I'm riding it, so it's got a comfortable seat. We've got up to 56 miles an hour, 57, 58, 59. Will we make 60? 60! There you go. Dashboard's easy to see. It's a digital black dashboard. Got digital readout on it. It's split into little blocks and segments. So here we are. We're increasing our speed now, now up to 65. Unfortunately, I've got to come off now, so I won't know if it'll go any faster. But apparently, if you rag it, it'll get 160 miles to the tank out of it, or gallon out of it, I think it is. Do you know there is awesome engine braking on this? Brakes us as you would imagine. So I've just dropped it down a couple of gears there. Then it nearly stood on its front wheel. It's been a long time since I've ridden one of an engine this small. It took a bit getting used to. Initial impressions, is a cracking little ride, comfortable, quite sure-footed. And once you learn how the gearing works on it, as long as you sort of push it a little bit, it works quite well. Clearly, there's a small little bike like this. Every little movement on the handlebar has an effect on the steering, if you want. Normally, on a big bike, you'd be able to quite relax yourself on the handlebars a lot, but this, every little move is transmitted down into the tyres, which are big, fat, chunky tyres with like not an off-road tread, but just quite a wide tread on them. And I find something is this little road here. We're cracking along at 57 miles an hour, and when you get to these bends, you actually feel like you want to put your foot down, like as if you're riding a supermoto or something. But it grips. Awesome. I mean, this is flat out now. The thing is probably at its maximum here. I'll see if there's another gear. No, I'm in top gear. It's hard to work out actually. Strangely enough, there's not a lot of wind. You know, normally on an open naked bike you feel the wind in your face, but the thing about this bike is, because it's so small, I suppose the headlamp is a big old traditional headlamp shape in the front there. It's just pushing you. This is such an eager little beaver. Handlebars are comfortable, they're swept back a little bit, nice shoulder width apart. The riding position is a good riding position. It's not as if you're crouched up because it's a small bike. They've managed to fit an adult riding position onto what is effectively a kid's bike, isn't it really, if you think about it. I mean, if you were doing a commute of probably 10-15 miles, this is the bike you'd be thinking of doing it on. You know, you carry a rucksack with all your kit in, because there's no other options. But look at that Cornish rush hour there, two tractors holding up all the traffic, and we've got a caravan at this time of year. Now, there are no heated grips on this, which is, as you imagine, you could probably pay for them to be on there. On the headlamps there's either a low beam or high beam, there's no flash. There's not a lot to say about it really, apart from it's very comfortable. Very comfortable. And this is one of those bikes where people would go, you know, I wonder if you could tour on it, because you wouldn't have to worry about fuel or anything like that, would you? And with it being a Honda, be fixable if anything went wrong. The seat is so comfortable. It looks like one of those upholstered seats you can buy for some bikes, you know. I don't know who, is it Sargent who makes them, something like that, some very expensive company. But it's nice and wide, it's very comfortable. Your legs are not obstructed by the tank, which is very small, and I suppose you could actually make the tank bigger if you wanted to, but there's no need to with the range that it's got. A lockable fuel cap with a cover over it. It's very nice. It's just a willing little engine. Good engine braking on it. I really do like that. Old school hand signals there. Look, wow, I like that. From the guy in the caravan in front. I've got to be honest, you're throttling that is wide open the whole time when you're trying to get up to speed, but it's a 125. What would you imagine? Would I buy one of these? I think they're about £3,500 to buy new, and I think it's only £20 road tax. You know, if you were just travelling from into town to do some work, you don't worry about parking. Crikey, you could pick it up and put it in your office, I suppose, couldn't you, or your workplace? It's not going to cause any issues. This sort of ticks so many people's boxes, which is really nice. So the suspension is comfortable, as I've said, and this is going to be a test for it now, isn't it, on these old roadworks. But you know, these big fat tyres on it, they're just sucking up these bumps. Normally you see the little serrated edges on the roads and that sort of like these railway lines. You get them quite a lot in Europe actually when they're doing the roads. It's the marks left by the machines. And you seem to find that once you're in them on some bikes, it's like, oh God, you know, where's it going to take me? But this is just, because of the size of the tyre, it's just breezing through it all. Hardly feeling these bumps. It's the second time I've ridden this road today on a different bike, and both bikes have performed awesome. Okay, so winding it up a bit now. It's very responsive in all the gears. And these bends are just great. I mean, we're doing 50 miles an hour, which is, you know, massively fast. But you know, this copes with it really well. And you really do feel like you want to put your leg out, supermoto style. Obviously there's issues for some people, if you know, to buy a bike like this, you know, the presence on the road isn't there. You just, you know, it's almost like a kid's bike. It's what it feels like. But it's nice, it's fun, it's quirky, it's everything that you want a commuter bike to be. Maximum range, small tanks, low tax. It's just great. And when I get off this, when we do our little review in a minute, I know I'm going to be grinning like a bloody Cheshire cat. And they're always known for their grins. Even the lady in the car was smiling at the bike then. That's nice if you can bring a smile to people's faces as you're driving along, isn't it? I don't know the origins of monkey bikes, but I think I can remember them when I was a kid, you know, that people had them and enjoyed riding around in them. It was just like one of those things, wow, you don't see that often. Back to our little spot there with a no parking sign. Love it. One man and his monkey bike. That's all you need. Look at this. That's it. Stupid big grin on my face, because this is an awesome little bike.
Why is it an awesome little bike, Mark?
I was just grinning away there looking at it, because it's a monkey bike, innit? When I was a kid, people had monkey bikes, and it's like, you know, you'd think a little kid could ride this. My grandson could probably ride it. But it's blooming awesome. It ticks so many boxes. It's small. It's not too heavy. It's got a 5.5 litre tank, which does 180 miles. Now you convert that back to old money, that does 180 miles on a gallon of petrol.
That's insane.
If you thrash it...
In the way that you were riding it, having fun...
I was going to put the caveat in there. If you thrash it, apparently it goes down to, wait for it, only 160 miles on a tank. So if you're using this as a commuter, that's a week's commuting for some people on 5 litres of fuel. Amazing. £20 road tax. Obviously, if you've just passed your CBT, you can ride it. You can ride it with a full licence. I've just been trying to ride it on the way here, grinning to myself, because obviously you ride bigger bikes normally and you're putting yourself in the same positions as you would on a big bike, you know, to get best view around the corner. And you feel like you want to put your foot down, like riding it as a supermoto. It's just awesome. I've got to be honest, it's on the maximum of the throttle all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just having a good laugh. The tyres, we went through some roadworks on it, and I said, oh, the tyres cope really well, because look at them. They're big, fat, chunky things. There are lots of gaps in them. Suspension is really soft. So we went over the roadworks and didn't feel it at all. Wow. At all.
That's really good.
And you know, you go on some bikes, and I was explaining, you know, when the machine's been and taken the top layer of the surface off, it's like those tram lines, isn't it? And sometimes you're on a bike going, oh, you know, I don't care who you are, but it's like, oh, a little bit twitchy. This is just like bimbling through it, and it's just such a good laugh. And there's more.
These are like £3.5 grand brand new.
I know. So imagine this scenario. If you have a camper van, which I've had many times, and you wanted to put one of these on the back of your camper van, it's like one of those modified bike racks, would just fit on the back because they don't weigh that much, and you've got transport there. I think it'd be a squeeze to put 2 people on, but you know what?
On this seat?
Yeah, you might just get 2 people on.
Would the bike cope with 2 people on it?
Probably not, because there's no facility to put 2 people on, so you know, you'd have to have a second bike probably, but you know, even that is doable with the specs that the bike has got.
But doesn't it look good?
I'm grinning because I'm an idiot. It looks really smart. Honda obviously put a lot of effort into stuff. Got upside down forks, bits of chrome on it. There's like a beak style mudguard, you know. Huge big headlight on the front, which is you know, it's like a retro thing, isn't it? But look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. It's an LED headlight. You don't have the flashes, but you have the... I'll probably have to start it, actually. It might be in gear. 6-speed box, I think. ABS. ABS! I mean, it's just like... And that works, because as I was getting here, there was a caravan pulled in front of me. I haven't got it in neutral yet. I'll find neutral. It's somewhere here somewhere. Just listen to it. I'm going to rev its backside off now. That sounds... There's a rattle there. It's a number plate. But it sounds awesome, doesn't it?
I see you smile where you rev it up.
Whee! Headlamp, come back to the headlamp.
Oh yeah.
So it's got the main beam as well. It's got the indicators.
And they look like they're LED. I'm not sure, but they do look like they're LED.
They are, I think. They are LED indicators. Look at Nick.
What's the horn like? Because the horn is right here.
The horn is massive. Oh, that's the starter. There you go.
Wow, that's louder than some of the other bikes.
But come here, let you see the...
Now this is something to behold.
I hope we can see it, because when you switch it on, this happens. No.
It winks at you.
If you're into quirky stuff, this bike just does it, doesn't it? It's just quirky.
Yeah.
There is a downside. Old school rear view mirrors, so old school you can't see anything out of them. I'm not sure if it's because of the position of them, whether they could be adjusted or not, but this one particularly, the left hand one, couldn't see much out of that at all. But, you know, lockable fuel cap, it's just old style shocks, rear shocks on both sides. It's got right angled valves on the wheels. It's just brilliant. Is that enough gushing now?
Are you now got 4 bikes that you have to compare?
Well, I've got 4 bikes. When I get rid of my GSA, I might have to consider one of these just as a commute if I'm only ever going into Truro, which is 8 miles away. You got to be realistic. However, if you're prepared to carry a rucksack or something like that, you know, you could tour on any bike you want. And would this bike tour? Yeah, it would. 180 miles on it. You'd go anywhere on it, couldn't you? I like it. And it's been an ambition to ride one of these for a long time. So thank you to Dam Rules for having one as a demonstrator. Apparently they sell like hotcakes.
And they've got several different colours as well.
Lots of different colour schemes. I mean, it's pretty cool. But this is like metallic paint. This is like old Honda paintwork, isn't it? You know, and it's built Honda. It's just really nice. The reliability on it would be good. And you know, if you were touring on it and you broke down, because it's a Honda and they're all over the world, you know, I'm sure some of you have to fix it really quickly if you can't fix it, because it's just simple. Although it's a bit complicated because it's got ABS.
But it looks really good.
Do you think so?
I'm sure as we were riding through that little village, people were looking to
Did you see the woman at the T-junction who was laughing at it as I came round? So it brings a smile to people's faces. That's what you want, isn't it?
And if you lived in a city and you only had a flat or something, you could basically put that in the stairwell, couldn't you?
It'd go up in the lift, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have it in your lounge where all motorbikes should be, just for the side of the TV. So there we go. I like it. If you like this video, and we've done this for Vanessa actually on purpose because she's about to get one, I think. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to us, and you'll see us soon.